my cousin and we just said some names that I don't have. Greenville, Alabama. Nobody ever mentioned that. In Prattsville, Alabama. Nobody ever mentioned that. And this is in terms of getting some background history of the Glovers and where they started from. Go on, cuz you said something else about your grandfather.
Yeah, Papa was a principal at Mack High School. Yeah, Papa was in Greenville. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you could ever get down there in Greenville, man, you could find a lot of history down there about Mack Glover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Mack Glover was a preacher too.
So was an educated man?
Yes, goodness.
Okay.
Mack Glover was an educated man. Yeah.
Okay. Like I say, Mack High School.
Mack Hannon High School. And yeah.
And that's in Greensville,
Alabama. If you ever get down there, you can get some history right there by Mack Glover.
And Glover Children, it sounds like that's maybe where they originated
from. That's where they originated from, back down in there. And on up to Greenville, Prattville, on up through Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
That's where Papa's stomping ground.
Now you said he was a preacher and he traveled. What church?
Yeah, he was a Baptist preacher.
He was a Baptist preacher, okay.
Yeah, he was a Baptist preacher.
Okay.
Yeah, Uncle Lord and Papa, though.
Now, what about the church folks? Did you all go to Ebenezer?
Yeah, we went to Ebenezer.
Okay.
Yeah, we used to go to Ebenezer for vacation Bible school every summer.
But he wasn't the pastor of Ebenezer?
No.
Okay.
That was Reverend Smith was the pastor of that church, as far as I can remember back. Was Reverend Smith.
Okay.
He was the pastor. But Tita, my auntie, she and Jezebel, they sang in the choir. They was good choir singers. Lindsey, Jezebel, and auntie. Auntie Tita. They sang in the choir. Okay. Yeah, they made a record.
No way, is that right? Really?
Yeah, they made a record.
Oh wow.
They made a record.
Okay. Yeah. Super. All right, good. Listen, I want to thank you for your time, and don't worry, as soon as I get everybody together.
Yeah, get them on. His stepmother.
But that's right, that's what you said. Your dad just didn't get
Yeah, she didn't care nothing for him, because he knows that Mama Fanny gonna take over everything when Papa died.
If he had anything.
Okay. And if you didn't know it, you didn't know it.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it like
that. She was just that type of woman.
Just that type of woman, yeah.
So that's he kept his business.
Yeah, and he kept his business too. Now they used to go to Willie May house. Every time they would come, they would take Papa over to Willie May house, you know.
Okay. Right.
And I remember saying to him one time, I said, well, old man, he's not an old man. That's what she told me. And I didn't care too much for after that. You know what I mean? Because that's what Daddy used to call him. Daddy never would call him Papa.
Right.
Daddy called him old man. Hey, old man.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, real.
So you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
I did, carry on with him,
Yeah, but they had a pretty good relationship, though.
Dad and Papa?
Yeah. No.
Charlie.
Well, he's the answer anyway.
Yeah, okay. Charlie, Okay. You know how my daddy was, But Daddy, I guess he thought he should have been top boy,
Oh, okay.
But he wasn't, though, And this guy, I didn't know, that's the first time I ever seen his picture.
Right, yeah.
But I heard of him, though. I know when he got sick in New Orleans, Daddy went down there.
Okay.
Because he died with cancer.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. He died with cancer.
Good. But like you said, most of what you said really lines up with everybody else, but the thing about there's no extension.
No,
there's no extension. There's like, no cousin and Glover and outside of y'all little circle that you could really identify with.
I really, and like Cousin Florence used to tell her daughter, come here, because I want you to know these boys, I forget her name, but she Cousin Florence, I want you to know your people, because you got a lot of cousins out there.
Yeah.
She's always used to tell her that, But I want you to know your cousins. But man, we didn't know nothing about it.
Oh, I can believe that. And then on the outside,
she throwed her apron in the doorway. It was During that time was Gladys, Addie Mae, Harold, Ben, Papa Duke. And she went on down the street. My cousin was at somebody else's house, and it was dark. Only one light that was in front of the church, and she went on down, and she went got out of her chair she was sitting in, and she stabbed her with a knife. And so she died on the spot. So that was a grateful time during that time. It was very grateful.
She went to jail?
No, she got out of it because she was pregnant. They had a trial and everything.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And it just broke up the family. They didn't speak to one another. Oh, Lord Jesus. In a long time, but before Jezebel left this world, she hated Auntie May, that was Florence's mother. She came up there and asked her, would she please forgive her daughter? So, on her deathbed, she did forgive her. So, soon after that, she passed.
Do you remember anything about your grandparents?
Oh, no. My mother told me a lot about it.
Okay.
But no.
Not even their name or anything?
Her name was Addie Glover.
That's your mother's mother.
Right.
Named Addie Glover.
Right.
Do you remember what her father's name was?
No, I don't.
You don't? Is that right? Okay.
Nah.
Not even where they're from? No? Okay. So all of your life you lived on McKinley Street?
I lived on McKinley Street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I was born there, reared up there and everything.
And there were always those three houses there?
The family lived there. No, it was a house on next to our house.
Mm-hmm.
And our house, Willie Mae house, Lindsey house, and Auntie's house.
Okay.
And
Auntie who?
Jezebel.
Oh, okay. So there were four houses.
Right.
Okay.
It was more than that, but that was...
Okay. Now, do you remember the stories of the White House that was there? Because there used to be one big house there before they got split into the four. On McKinley Street. Wasn't there one big house there before? No? Okay, I thought there was a fire or something that happened there.
It was on the house on the corner. It was from our house, next door to our house.
Oh, okay.
It was a fire there.
Okay.
And Booksy Gaston used to live there. Booksy Gaston, Eileen, that was his daughter, Annie Jane, Herman, and Melvin. Okay. And Steve, and as far as I can go back.
Okay, alright, okay. Now, as far as the church across the street, I know that you said your family had helped build it.
Oh, yes, we did.
But was that the original church or the rebuilt?
No, a rebuilt.
Oh, the rebuilt church.
But they tore down most of it. And we used to, my mother used to be out there in the front of the church, up on the tree, and they used to have a fish fry every Friday and Saturday night. Okay. And what?
While they were working there.
Yeah. While Reverend, oh Lord, what his name was? Reverend Smith. And we used to go out there and and clean bricks. I cleaned them in the bricks. But we put our annex over to the church.
Oh, okay.
They
would go down to that.
Yeah, over to the church. They have a kitchen and a dining room.
Oh, it didn't have a kitchen in it?
No.
So you guys were just shuffling stuff across the street or anything before then? Before they had a kitchen in the dining room, you didn't do no cooking at the kitchen?
No. But Reverend Smith, he hoped to build that dining. And then we had some kind of recreation. That's all we had. Playing volleyball every evening. We would get together and go out there and behind the church and play volleyball till about 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, you was over. You go to your house and I go to mine. So that's the way it was. That's the way we lived.
Now, what about your dad? What do you know about him?
Well,
what was his name, sister?
Willie Singleton.
Okay.
That's like Willie Fred. Oh. And he worked at the M&O shop cleaning courtyard. He didn't have to be to work till 7 o'clock, but he always get up at 4 o'clock, have his coffee, and on his way to work. And we used to have to, each one of us had a turn to take his break before we go to school. And he would come home then, sit on the porch, take his bath, sit on the porch, and I could see the rocking chair today, and go to sleep. So that was it.
What do you know about him, though?
Oh, he was a wonderful father, was a good provider.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
What about brothers and sisters?
I don't remember.
No, nobody came around?
All I know was Ellen, his daughter, and he had a son, but with his father.
Okay, he had kids before he married your mom.
Oh, yeah, he was married before he married her.
Oh, okay.
She explained all this stuff to me. That's why I know.
Now, so where did she meet up with him at then?
Honey, I don't know. She told me, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
That was way before I was.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay, so that's the way we spin our
Okay. So once again, your dad worked for the railroad, and that was it. I mean, did he do anything with you guys?
Oh, no, indeed.
No?
It was just, he was just a type of father. He was a good
provider, yeah.
But after doing anything with us, no, my mother did it all.
Oh, is that?
Yes. We had to go there every time the church door opened. We had to be in there. I was at everything because you had to be there. I went to Bible study. They called it prayer meeting during those times. Then you get in the church and you get up and tell your determination. And I was one of those types. I can remember it. I got up and I told my determination. And Lindsey Kirksey, he was over the choir, and we used to sing every, I think it was fourth Sunday, that was the junior choir. And we used to sing on the radio. And his mother had a beautiful voice. My Lord from glory. We had a choir during those times. So, actually, Lindsey Kirksey was the head over the family. To keep us in line.
And why was that though? Why?
I don't know.
Was he the oldest cousin or something maybe?
Down in Montgomery he was. He was.
Okay, now, because the age from Jezebel and Mack, how much older were they from Tie-Dye and your mother and John? How much older were they? They were a lot older? It seemed like they were a lot older.
My mother the Lord gave her a lot of knowledge. So she was the head of the family. Every time they have a problem, they would come to her. And she would sit there and explain and tell them different things about the mother, where they come from, and all this stuff here. She had the Lord had given her more knowledge and wisdom to be there.
But how much older was Jezebel to her?
I think Jezebel was the oldest one.
Okay. How many years between her and?
I really can't say because I don't know.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah, she was the oldest one of the family.
So Lindsey's always been the enforcer.
He always been there.
Always.
Always.
Okay, all right. So what about growing up with what is it, 3 brothers or 4 brothers?
5 brothers.
5 brothers?
And
And
Just the
two
only
sisters.
two sisters.
Okay, what was that like?
Well, I was the only one. They used to call me old-fashioned because I stayed home with my mother. And she would tell me lots about what's going on and how she come up in different things like that.
Like what? Do you remember any?
Huh?
Do you remember any of that?
It was hard. She said when her father, Mack Glover, when he would go to different little counties and things, they would have nothing. He would bring back a chicken, some sweet potatoes, or peanut, but they had to survive for themselves. Because the mother was sickly.
Oh, okay.
And
Now, where did they live, though? Do you know?
no, indeed.
No? I mean, where your mom lived before she came? No.
I wouldn't even thought about it.
Oh, no, I thought you wanted to. Okay. All right, so you were saying that growing up, of course, all you guys went to the same school.
Yes, yes.
Do you remember what school that was?
George Washington Carver. We went there, and we went to Days Along. Yes.
Okay.
All of us went there. We had to climb the hills in the valley to get there. We walked there.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And growing up with my 5 brothers. Well, I was a survivor because I used to do hair, and they borrowed from me, but they had to pay me entry.
Okay.
So Willie Fred was a type of person. He always
now, he's the oldest.
Huh? No. Napoleon.
Oh, he's the oldest.
He was the oldest.
Okay.
But he went into Napoleon went into service, and he loved the women as usually.
Mm-hmm.
And he would come home, and we glad when he come home because we know we're gonna have some money to spend.
Okay. Now, how many kids did he have? Who? Napoleon.
Scattered around, honey.
Too many. Huh?
Too many. That's right. Leave that alone.
Okay.
Now who else?
Once again, now Willie Fred.
Well, Willie Fred, he would come he wanted to join the Navy, and he did join the Navy. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about, he was just a down-to-earth brother. Mm-hmm. He taking care of us when we didn't have anything.
Wow.
And he would go to the Red Cross. When he come back, somebody gonna give him some money. And he bought food for us. And he loved it, his sisters and brothers. He loved it. And his mother, oh man, couldn't do enough. Yes, for her. Right. So he was just a type of person. He couldn't stay too long because he was on the go. But outside that, he was a wonderful brother.
Okay. Then next in line is Uncle Alfred.
Well,
next? Uncle Napoleon, Uncle Willie Fred, Uncle Alfred.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, Uncle Alfred, he was a type. He loved his during them times. He dressed it really nice, but he had his type of people he would fool with. He didn't spend too much time with us. He would come out there, and he loved it, his mother. He loved it us in his own way, but he didn't want you to get too close to it. No. So he was in and out with his members. So he left there and went to Detroit, and he married Liz in Detroit.
Yeah, next? Who's next?
Winston, what's the name?
No, is he next? After Uncle Alfred is...
Wilbur.
Okay, Uncle Wilbur. I thought Eleanor was older.
Oh, yeah, she was the oldest. Yeah, the oldest girl.
But she's not older than Uncle Wilbur?
No, all of 3.
Oh, okay.
3 years apart from me.
3 years apart. Wow.
Okay, my sister, she was a type of person. She loved to be around people, and she loved people around her. But as a sister to stay at home, she was more of a going type, a party type, a person. Now, but she loved it.
Now, how in the world did she make it all the way to Ohio?
Well, she married Deep Cope, and so she moved to Ohio.
Now, they were from Alabama then?
Yeah. Oh. Out from, in a little town out from Montgomery.
So how did y'all know them through church?
Yeah, no, Lindsey Kirksey. because he used to work at the Georgia Showcase.
Okay.
So Lindsey Kirksey introduced him. He had a sister, Meredith, and George, that was her husband. They stayed in Montgomery. So he stayed with her, and Lindsey Kirksey introduced Eleanor to her.
Oh, okay. Then she met his brother.
So that's how they met up.
Okay.
But she loved it, her husband, regardless. How he treated her or did her. Nobody couldn't change that. She'll try to change you. Couldn't change you.
Oh, okay.
So she just had to go her limit.
Mm-hmm.
So she left there and went to Warrens, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I was Winston and Wilbert. He left and went to Detroit. So Winston and I was the only two round our mother. And that's why I know a little bit more than the rest of them do, because I stayed with my mother.
Okay. Now, what about your uncles and aunts? What about Uncle Todd?
He was a wonderful person. In his own ways, everybody have their own ways.
Right.
But he loved it, his sister. He loved it, my mother. Okay. Your grandmother, he loved it. And Willie Mae, he didn't care too much for her, but that was his sister. And he used to come there every Monday to talk and run me away. Go, you got something to do, Jessie Lee? Go out there. And him and my mother sit up in the room and they would talk for hours and hours. Yeah, okay.
Now, where was Aunt John?
She was in New Orleans.
Okay, so she had left early.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Okay.
I mean, in a young age, my mother told me, and she went to New Orleans. She was a dressing type of person, but she has a good heart in her body.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Aunt Willie Mae always lived there.
Well, yes, she lived there, but she was a type of person. In her own way, she was nice, but she was more for her kid than she was for her sister's kid.
Okay.
But after all, she was a good survivor.
Okay.
Right.
Now, Uncle Jenkins, you didn't know at all, right?
Uncle Jenkins in later years, I mean, she would tell me that she had a brother in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. And just before she died, he came to Rochester. Mm-hmm. He stayed with us. Auntie came up, and all of them, that's when I met him, all three, the sisters got together, sit right in here, and talk. Right. And so Uncle Jenkins was a type, he just stayed to himself.
Okay. Before him coming here, you never met him?
No,
No? Wow.
Yes, I did. I met him once when he came to Montgomery to visit Auntie. Okay. To visit the family, but the only one that he would stay with, because he was very particular. Okay. Nothing couldn't suit him. Right. And he came there and stayed with, I think he stayed about a week.
Wow. Okay.
And we got to know him in his older age.
Oh, all right.
See, because he was a type, he didn't want to have nothing to do with nobody.
Oh, all right.
We wasn't good enough. Our house wasn't good enough for him to live in.
Right.
But God can bring you down. So he stayed with her.
Oh, all right. Okay. Now, once again, Uncle Todd, he had about, 12 kids?
More. Now, we ain't going to leave out.
And Willie Mae, she had 5.
Yeah.
And John, she only had the 1.
Just 1.
And then, is that it? Because there were 7 altogether, right? And, Uncle Jenkins had 3, right? 3 boys? Do you know?
I think he had 2.
2? Okay, 2. And, you had told a story one time about Aunt Eleanor threw your dad across.
Yeah, when we were small, and we kept, he was a type of person, he'll give you enough rope to hang yourself. Okay. So my mother went to a friend of hers, and she left us there with him. And we just had a good time.
Now, what age were you?
Oh, honey, I don't know.
No? Okay. You were teenagers, all right? Were you teenagers?
No.
Not that old, right? Okay.
So he had told us to stop all that noise. And so Eleanor was a type of person, she don't have the last word. Oh, yeah. She went on and on. So he whipped me with a rope, and I had whipped that large on me.
Right.
And so she told him, no, Dad, you don't hit me with that rope now. And he said, what you mean? So he gave him a swung. She just picked him up and threw him across the sofa.
He wasn't a big man then.
You know who? Winston.
Oh, okay. He felt like Winston.
Yes. And so when my mother came home, I was because them things was hurt.
Right.
She said, what happened? And we told, and he said, oh, V, my back.
That's what he called it.
Yeah. So what's wrong? You know that girl picked me up and told me, honey, we laughed so often that day, but I was hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, she wasn't blessed by it. Yeah.
No. But she was a type of person. He said, you is not going in the place. She said, what? So, but I was the only easy person because I stayed around my mother. Mm-hmm. And Winston did too. Okay, now who's next?
Right. Well, that's about it. Like you said, other than Aunt Willie, and the church was right across the street.
Yes.
And then, like you said, Lindsey just always has been.
Oh man, yes.
Always has been there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about Uncle Ty? Did you guys ever go to his house?
Oh yes, we go to Uncle Ty's house. Okay. And honey, you gonna have a good time. And
now, would you say they were your closest cousins? Well, no, because that Willie Mae lived right next door.
That's right. But Uncle Ty and his wife, Aunt Bessie,
mm-hmm.
I mean, they would treat us like they, was their kids.
Is that right? Okay.
We would go there, and they said, well, if you had anything to eat, no, we didn't what to call, hey, something to eat at home. Right. He gonna tell you, oh no, Bessie, get in there and fix some kids some food. Yeah. You would sit there. He would make all kind of jokes. We would laugh. And he would get up and look at the clock. Time for you to go. Get across that bridge to be.
Right, okay.
So my mother would treat his kids like they was hers.
Oh, that's good.
And they would come out, and all the kids would come out, and my aunt, Auntie Jezebel, she had a swing, tables around the tree. We would sit there, play cards, basketball, just like a tomboy with my brothers.
Right.
And we would sit there, we would play that, and she would make sure she would bring out Kool-Aid and make ice cream. Yes.
Wow.
And then when it time, we didn't know nothing about fighting and all this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. No, indeed. Right. We would sit out there, and she had a light out there on Friday night, because you didn't have to get up early and go to school. Mm-hmm. Sit out there. I never could play cards. I tried, but I never could get a swinger. Right. But Wilbert, he played a card, but my mother did not allow a card in the house. They used to sneak them in there. She would go in the room and see those cards. She would tear them up and throw them in the garbage. Okay. Yes. Right. She was a very praying person. Mm-hmm. Before you eat anything, you will wash your hands and you gonna bless that. She would bless it, then you will what you call. Then she would have me to bless it. Mm-hmm.
Now, what was she like growing up? Did she do anything in the church? I mean, she helped, I'm sure, but like she wasn't a Sunday school teacher.
Oh, no. Okay. She sang in the choir.
Okay.
All of them sang in the choir. Mm-hmm. But Jezebel had the best voice of all of them. Her and Lindsey Kirksey.
Okay. Once again, what type of person was she? Who? Your mom. Did she work? She didn't work outside the house.
At times she did.
She did?
For a while.
Doing what?
Taking care of people's kids or something like that.
Okay. But she never, once again, like worked a job?
No. She didn't have it to do. Okay. Because my father, at that time, it was some good money. Oh. So she stayed home with us. They have our food and do our laundry until we got old enough that we could do it ourselves. And if it wasn't right, she would go outside. We had a big black pot, put the fire and burl the clothes, wash them, and hang them up on the line. And if they wasn't right, I could see that sister marching through the door, go out there and look at them and take them off the throw them on the ground, do them again.
Is that right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember across the street, wasn't there like a Head Start?
Yes, I worked in the Head Start.
Okay.
For 2 years.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's about it. Other than that, so you were there all the time.
Oh, yes, indeed.
You walked to school.
Yes, Lord, yes.
Anything else that you remember?
That everybody you go, all the people I know, the older heads on that street, or if you go anywhere else, and they catch you doing something, they wouldn't tell your parents that. They will give you a good beating, and when you get home, Mom gonna double it.
Okay.
But my mother was the type, she didn't whip us that much. She would sit down, unless you make her mad. She would sit down and talk to you.
More than she was whipping.
Yeah. Then she would say, no, wait for your father. Oh no, Mom, give me mine now.
Right.
And after he got older.
Now he was an older man anyway, though.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
After he got older, Lindsey Kirksey taking over, he would get a piece of you.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Right. Do you remember when your dad died? You were young then?
Yeah.
Oh, you were
yeah.
young.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember.
Right. No, go on. You remember.
Yeah, when he passed. It was one Saturday, I never forget. All of us sitting on the porch. Mm-hmm. He had walked. He didn't believe in taxis and buses and things. He would walk to downtown. Was a type of, he believed in paying his bills. Okay. And after he came back, we was all sitting on the porch there talking and going on. And he came back, he came around the house, sit in the rocking chair. And I was the type of person to always be noticing it. And he started to get up and go in the house. And God should have, I was there. I caught him before he fell. He had a stroke.
Oh.
So he stayed there. My mother took care of him. He stayed there for 5 long years. Winston bathed him and shaved him.
Wow. Okay.
My mother did it too. When she didn't shave, but she would give him bath, make sure he have his food. So I remember I was coming home. I used to get out about 12 o'clock because I was taking up hospitality. Mm-hmm. And so Booby, Nancy's second wife, met me, said, Jessie. I said, what? She said, get in the car. Say your father passed. Mm-hmm. So when I got there, my mother was, I never forget, was ironing a shirt. Mm-hmm. And she said he had a bad headache. Mm-hmm. So she said, well, she put him in the bed. And by 1 o'clock, 1:30, I never forget it. He was gone.
Oh, okay. Who was home then?
Just in my mother.
Is that right?
So
everybody else had gone.
Wilbur, he wasn't there. Mm-hmm. Nobody but Napoleon, but I was the only one at home.
Living there.
Yeah, in Winston.
Okay.
Because the rest of them was out. Mm-hmm. So I was the what you call it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was it. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when let's see, I know what I wanted to ask you. Did you guys own that house?
Yes, everybody owned their own home.
Okay.
So
we have to find out, how did they get that land, I wonder?
Well, Lindsey Kirksey is 90-some years old, so he don't know. And
so that's it. He's alive. So
that's the last on my mother's side of people.
Right.
Now on my father's side, I think all of them is dead out anyway.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they were older anyway.
Yes. So
in going to New Orleans, how often did you go to New Orleans?
Well, I went there after I finished high school. I went down there.
Did you guys just visit though? You didn't go
we went there times to visit, but that was a bad place.
Oh, really?
It was really bad. I mean, everybody doing their thing.
Okay.
And on Friday nights, Auntie and her grandkids would go to The barroom. Oh. I wasn't used to that. I tried it, but it didn't work.
Didn't you visit with your mom at any time? Your mom never went to know?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Her brother was there, Uncle Mack.
Oh, okay.
He passed there.
Right, okay.
She went there to take care of him.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Do you remember him? Was he a big guy, little guy?
No, he was a very slender guy. Mm-hmm. But he was very sweet. Okay. Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. And he had a whole lot of kids, too.
Okay. Now, once again, do you remember how many or any of his kids' names?
Teresa, I remember Oscar and Rosie. Rosie, the one that's living now. Yeah. Harold, he passed away.
Now, Harold, he used to live in Detroit, right?
No. That's Willie Mae's son you talking about.
Oh, she had a Harold too. Okay.
Harold always stayed in New Orleans.
Now, I'm sorry, the lady that you just mentioned, Uncle Mack's daughter that you said is still living?
What's her name there?
You just called her.
Rosie.
Rosie? Do you have her address or anything?
We lost connection.
Oh, okay.
When I was down there, she used to come every Monday, and we would sit down and talk. Okay. But Harold, he had some type of disease or something. I think he had cancer.
Now, Rosie, you said she's still alive. You say that because, as far as you know, she's not dead.
If it was Adrean, some Essex grandkids always keep in touch with Adrean.
Oh, is that right? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Adrean is in Atlanta now.
That's true.
But you do have her number?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I like it. Okay. All right. Okay. Anything else about growing up in the West End?
Oh, man, the West End was fantastic.
Why say that?
Huh?
Why?
Everybody knowed each other. Okay. And if you didn't have food, your mother didn't have food on the table, they would bring you some.
Okay.
And my mother would every Monday with a saw cross the behind the church. Mm-hmm. They would come over and have a talk. And what is his name? Her brother, R.C., he passed away. And Uncle Jack, he used to sing in the Glee Club.
Uncle, he was really your uncle?
No, we used to call him that. That was a cousin. Okay. And Afra would follow with him everywhere you go. Afra would go with him.
Is that right? In the Glee Club?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you another question. So how is, because Tip is our cousin, right?
Yes,
now,
yes.
How's he related?
I mean, I really don't know. But it was our first cousin.
Okay.
But Zeke Glover was his father.
Zeke Glover. Okay. But Zeke Glover wasn't your mother's brother.
No.
Oh, okay.
He's connected somewhere riding in them.
Is that right? Okay. All right. But he was a cousin, though.
Oh, yeah. First cousin.
Oh, okay. Okay. You don't know that he had any brothers or sisters?
All of them dead.
All of them. Everybody's dead. Yeah.
And Auntie Mack, and she used to have a big pomegranate tree.
Whoa. And
we would go there. And they'd be so sweet till they would just burst.
Okay.
And she'd sell them for a nickel.
Okay.
And
now this was
Florence mother.
Florence mother. Okay. Which is Lindsey's sister?
No, cousin.
Cousin. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was it. Anything else? That was it?
Man.
Oh, that was some good time.
Man, I know I had some good times.
Yeah.
And Winston and we just like my mother told us, everybody was gone. I went to New Orleans to live, and so I came back home, and I didn't go back no more till later years. I went in after another marriage. So I came back home.
So she was there by herself for a while? Your mom?
Yeah.
She was there, oh wow, is that?
But Winston, he didn't leave. Winston was the only one there.
So once again, there was always somebody there?
Oh yeah. Okay. And so when I got home, before I left home, she would sit the both of us down. And she told me, and Winston, she told her to sit around the table and look right at her. she said, if it had not been for the Lord, so he blessed me with 7 kids. But I didn't know, Jess, you had to be the one to take care of me. And Winston. And she said, one day I'm going to leave this world. She said, but God come forever. Bless you.
Is that right?
And said, Winston, he going to call you to preach.
She told him that.
And you going to be a healer.
Is that right?
Yes, Lord, yes.
She told him that.
And I said, how do you know?
Right.
She said, I have that feel. God gave me the warning to tell. So the both of y'all, God gonna forever bless you.
Right.
Wherever I be at.
Right.
I want y'all to stick together.
Right.
Because y'all two is only together.
Here's another story you told her. Uncle Winston had I don't know if it was a seizure or something.
Yes, he did. When he was younger, I remember this too.
Was it a seizure?
Yeah, but they never could find out what caused it.
Okay, what happened then?
He was that morning he got up and he started trembling and shaking all over and then just kicking and going on. So she taken him to the hospital. They ran all kind of tests and she told him, you're not going to find them because God is not ready for my son.
Oh, okay.
So they ran the test and told him, said, well, stay home for a couple. He used to work downtown for, forgot the name of place he used to work at. Okay. And so he went back to work. So after then, he, Alfred wanted him to come to Los Angeles.
Okay. So now he was a teenager, a young man?
He was a young man. And before he did that, he quit school to take care of the family.
Is that right?
Understood.
And I remember that, because I remember, and I don't know where in this house, but I remember he had came one year, and he was so proud because he went back to school.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to that picture.
Me either.
But I remember that. Okay.
So he told me he used to work down there sawing wood with Mill Davis, Rosa Davis' husband. And he had if you saw him in wood, he got deaf in one of his ears.
Uncle Winston?
Yeah.
Okay.
Later years, as he gotten older, and he worked there for $2.50.
$2.50?
Yes.
Okay.
He brought every nickel of it home.
Wow.
Only thing he taken the 50 cents.
But he brought the $2 home.
He gave it to my mom.
Wow. Okay.
So he really